this session, I wrote 138 words, and I did my month's update for October. And for the month of October, I wrote a total of 3,232 words. I did my graph update as well. And so here we have the, oh gosh, the focus. Okay, there we go. We have the trend graph for October, and then this is the comparison from August, September, and then October. For this session, I wrote 132 words. For this session, I wrote 156 words. For this session, I wrote 116 words. I woke up at 5:30 this morning. I am loving that daylight savings time is over because I feel like I have more morning time and I am loving that. I have been changing up my routine a bit. I have moved my writing sessions to first thing in the morning now because I feel like my brain is freshest then, and I've just been noticing that putting my writing off to like the afternoon or the evening, I am struggling to have consistency with my writing, in the sense of, you know, I'll vary from like 100 plus words to like 20, and if you see my graph or chart, the Excel spreadsheet, you'll notice that this week it's been pretty consistent in the hundreds for my, or in the 100s for my word count. It is also nice to have my writing session done and out of the way, and not that I've been trying to treat it like a to-do list item, but psychologically and just with how much more active my days have become, it's just so much nicer to have it done first thing in the morning. Speaking of increased activity, I've also finally been able to go for longer runs, and that's something I have been diligently and very carefully working my way up toward. Several years ago, I injured my back very, very badly, and this has been a theme in my life where I will not take my injury seriously because I've been too impatient to rehabilitate myself. And it's been a long going learning process of reconnecting with my body and tuning in to its signals. But I finally figured it out, and in figuring out how to listen to my body, I have made tremendous gains in my physical fitness, and I am so happy with that because it feels really, really good to be able to go out for a morning run again and not be out for like the whole week recovering or just sore and exhausted. I actually am now feeling very energized from my activity, and that's exactly where I wanted to be. Currently, my training split is every other day. I'll try to either go for a run or do some strength training. I am also working my way up to get back into swimming again. And in between, on my off days, I am diligently focused on my breath and body work, which is basically a ton of mindful stretching and foam rolling. I've also been very, very good about cooking more, and I'm really proud of that because that is something I wanted to step up. And all these things I am able to do because I have a healthy balance with my writing. If you've seen my previous vlogs, my older vlogs, you will know that I was trying to write 1,000 words every single day for a hot minute, and then that quickly changed because I realized it was not a sustainable and healthy pace to write that much, at least for myself. I know there are people who can write easily like 2,000 to 3,000 words a day and it's like nothing, but I am a bit more of a careful writer, so I like to really, I kind of do it already an internal editing before I put the words down, and I am not a zero drafter, or I don't really like to edit, so I will try to put out words the best of my abilities up front so that I won't have to do so much editing down the road. But because of my aversion to editing, I do take longer to process my thoughts and I do take longer to write, which is why you'll see that I'm writing probably around like the 80 to 120 range on average per day. That all said, this is why I write the way I do now, which is to show up every single day and write intuitively. I stop when I'm at a high point and then I carry on with the rest of my life, which allows me to have a life that's not absolutely consumed with writing. And not that that's a bad thing. I initially wanted that, but it's just mentally way too much, and you don't have room, or I didn't have room to enjoy anything else when I was just like grinding at the writing. Creatively, it was also so restricting because I didn't have time and space to fit in anything else that would allow my mind to think differently. I then just slacked on everything else that I needed to do to take care of myself, such as my health. And I think as a writer, it is so important to pay attention to these other facets that are our lives. And for me, that includes connecting with my tarot cards. This morning I pulled the Hanged Man, and then I pulled Death, and the 10 of Coins. So that's my bit of a life update, my Write Life update. And I also wanted to talk about the books that I want to finish this month in November. First on the list, I have The Wisdom of Insecurity by Alan Watts. I have 30 pages left in this, so I'm definitely gonna finish it. I've been absolutely loving this book. It is absolutely full of perspective and wisdom, and I will be rereading this over and over and over again. This is definitely going to be a Bible type book in my collection. It is a perspective altering book, and there's a lot to digest in this short little novella of sorts. I guess it's not really a novella because it's nonfiction, but this short little book is just so full of insight. So I mean, you're gonna find new things every time you reread this. That's the gist I get from this book so far. Next up, I, over the weekend, started Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, and I made it through page 134, and I want to finish this book this month. My tarot bookmark for this is the Queen of Batons. Next up, I want to finish Outlander. I picked this book up from Goodwill like many months ago. It was probably actually like in January or so, and I struggled to get into it at first, and now I kind of just read it as like a palate cleanser or just something to read when I just want to read something. It's more for entertainment, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And I have now started to kind of get into it. I'm on page 236 of like 800 something pages. So I want to finish this month. And then this month I also want to finish The Possessed. I haven't gotten further into it than where I stopped last time, and only because I really wanted to savor it and not be over and done with it so soon. But I'm gonna finish this month. And then I also would love to finish The City of Bones. I am page 166, and I'm obsessed. I freaking love this book. Also why I've been reading slow, because I don't want it to be over too fast. I am glad that there are 6 more books, or 5 or 6 more books in the series, so I still have some time with it. But next up, I have either or. I definitely want to finish this month, but we'll see. And then, oh, I almost forgot. Yeah, I also didn't get too much more into this book from where I last left off. I have a ton of Sybil fur on these books, but whatever. Yeah, so I want to try and finish this month. And then I want to finish The Hotel Nantucket. This is another book that I've been annotating. I've been enjoying annotating my hardback books, and I am more than halfway through this one, so I'm definitely gonna get this finished this month. And then lastly, this is a book I haven't started, but this is one I am planning to this month and that I want to finish. Invitation to a Beheading. I have a feeling that I'm going to be in the right headspace for this book this month. Those are all the books that I want to get through this month. I'm actually feeling pretty confident that I will get through them all. And that's all I have for this vlog, so I will see you in the next one.